Okay. All right. You're probably wondering, why did I put that up there? Why did I put that up there? Okay. I put that there. Don't hate single mothers, but there's a reason why they say don't date single mothers. Because men have wide family lineage. You see that part in Conan the Destroyer at the end? The princess who had her kingdom, rule with me. He said, no, I will have my own queen and my own kingdom. That's what men want. They want their own queen and their own kingdom, the kingdom of their own family tree, the kingdom of their own place, you know. And that's what they want. A lot of men have heard the stories of other men who've had bad experiences with single mothers, horror stories, and they don't want to end up in that predicament. I have heard horror stories of men who have dated single mothers, have married single mothers, men who are lied to about, wanting the single mother was going to give them kids, but as soon as they got married, she changed her mind. This is the plight of many men who marry single mothers. Not all single mothers are bad, but you have to understand there are some out there that they play a good poker face, and they just use a man for an ATM. Okay, and that's it. The man is there. He can't discipline the kids because the kids are not his. The baby father may be still to be in the picture. Okay, and you can't discipline the kids, but they live under your roof. Okay, these are all problems from men who date single mothers. And men don't hate single mothers, but they do not want a single mother to be their wife. And that's perfectly understand. They don't want to date a woman with kids because that's a family tree already made family. And they got to deal with the fact of that kid's grandparents may not like the way you talk to that kid, disciplining them when they do wrong. And that's some things that men don't want to deal with. Okay. And women have to understand that, especially black women. It's not to make fun of you or demean you or to make fun of you, but you got to understand the fact of the matter is, Facebook just says yes, no, all men do not hate single mothers. If you hate single mothers, there's something wrong with you. I'm just going to be very honest with you. There is something seriously wrong with you if you hate. Maybe you had a bad a single mother that was uh, uh, toxic to you, and you just, you got to get away from her, or, just make your peace. You talk to her, this is how you hurt me. And if she doesn't want to admit her wrongs, you just leave her alone. That's it. But, the fact of the matter is, men don't hate single mothers. It's the fact that there's a risk of dating a single mother. The fact that the woman can renege, lie. If you don't have any kids and you discuss you want kids, and she feels, you know what, I don't want to give you kids. I already got you. You're already here. You're mine. Shut up. These are your kids. I don't have to have any more kids. And a woman could play that game, and there's nothing you could do about it, really, except divorce, and hopefully she doesn't take you to the cleaners. And you have a lot of, I hate to say it, but you do have a lot of single mothers out there who can't understand this logic, and it baffles me. It really does, because of women who pull this type of games. Of women who do this, yet you play the poker face and like you can't see what's wrong with marrying a single mother. And to those women, you are very sick and psychotic, and you need help. Okay. Many of you don't even want your sons to marry a single mother. You know the game, and you don't want, and some of you have a conscience, and you don't want your son to fall into that trap, but you want to shame a man. Some of you want to shame a man into marrying a single mother and being with a single mother. You think it's unfair, but some of you who are single mothers, you wouldn't date a man with kids because you want all that man's attention. Men are hip to the game. Okay? Men are hip to the game. And for those of you who understand, I commend you. Those of you who don't want to play a game, you should be ashamed of yourself. Okay? And you have to understand that, life is not a game. If you really are a toxic single mother, stay away from men. Focus on raising your kids. Focus on getting therapy, because you're very selfish and self-centered. You don't deserve a man. You don't. Stay by yourself. Work on your flaws, whatever traumatic childhood you have, before you want to try and have a man. And if a man wants to have kids and deep down, you don't want to have kids, but you're going to lie anyway, don't lie to that man. Do not lie to that man. Stay by yourself. Seriously, stay by yourself. You do not deserve a man. Stay by yourself. Get help. Get help. That's another thing. A lot of you single mothers have traumatic backgrounds. You do not need to be dating at all. Many of you just want a man as an accessory. Okay? You don't want to be that man's wife. You just want the title. That's it. But you want him to live out his title of husband and father to children that he did not make. Yet you are not willing to give him kids. And you get mad when men are standing up, especially in these Facebook groups, and they are coming together and saying, we don't want to marry single mothers. The only thing I have an issue with is men saying they don't want single mothers, but you want to use them in recreational use. That is not right. You are, traumatizing them. They're already probably messed up as it is. Leave them alone. Find a woman who is not a single mother and be with them. All right. But I hope you ladies understand the fact of the matter is that you need to have a conscience and compassion and understand that men have the right to have standards too, just as much as you do. Okay? They don't hate single mothers, they want their own family tree. They want their own lineage without an outside force battling for control. Like I said, some men, they just want their own kingdom and their own family tree. You can't knock a man for that, because that way he has to call the shots with his family tree, his lineage. It's perfectly understandable. But I think it's just a lot of, gynocentric lies today, feminism saying that you could have it all. And if a man doesn't want you as a single mother, he should be shamed. No. There are consequences to having kids out of wedlock. There just is. Or if a relationship has failed and you have kids, you have to raise those kids, and you have to find a man that's willing, and you have to be a woman that is not going to screw that man over. Preferably, I think it's good for a woman to date a man a woman who's a single mother should date a man who's a single father. That's how I think. I think that's the best bet, because they know how the other half lives. Okay? But if a man wants to be with you and you click and he says, listen, I want kids. And if you don't want to give him kids, let that be known. Okay? Because if you're a single mother, you just happen to get with a guy and he doesn't have kids and he wants kids. If you don't want to give him kids, he has every right to reject you. Every right to reject you and find somebody who's willing to give him kids. And preferably a woman who doesn't have kids herself. Because that way, it's their own family tree. It's kind of like you have your own plate of pizza. Okay? Your own plate of food. And it's just you and your family eating out of that bowl of food. Not, you have to share the single mother with the baby daddy. And it's not even a fact, I'm not having sex with the baby daddy. No, it's not about you having sex with the baby. It's the sharing of time. The fact that that woman has a kid outside, before you guys met together. She has a kid with another man. That's another man's family tree, another man's DNA. And he has to share you. He has to have permission for the baby father for certain things. Can't really go on a trip sometimes because you got to ask the baby father if he could take the kid along. Or if the kid wants to come along, you have to make accommodation, take, another man's child with you. Okay. This is why men don't want to have blended families. They don't want to do it. And that's their choice. Okay. Like I said, some of you single mothers don't want to date men with kids. I don't understand why. Because you have kids. But again, it's like the self-centeredness. I'm not bashing all of you. I'm just pointing out the stuff that's not talked about single mothers. That some of you know how to play the game. All right? But you have to have some respect. You have to understand the other half about what men think and what men care about. And they have a right to want to have their own family tree. Okay? They have a right to not have to not date a single mother and not deal with a blended family. That's their choice. It's your choice to have a baby out of wedlock, to be a single mother. It's a man's choice whether or not he wants to deal with that. All right. This is Hard Talk Radio. I know this was a hard talk. So that's about it for now. If you have any stories you want me to do, redpillman1988 at gmail.com. redpillman1988 at gmail.com. All right. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what you thought about this talk in the comments later.